Oh, I guess I'm live. All right. Yeah. Hello, buddy. I just decided because I haven't really done this in a while. I checked out, I'm trying the whole streaming thing. I don't know how well this is actually going to work. So I don't even know if you guys will see this. Usually I set up an event, but I was like, what the heck? I'll try it. And oh, the anime hero. Happy birthday, dude. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just was like doing this and I don't even know. Hero, how do I sound actually? Because I didn't even know. Okay, do I sound okay? Oh, you're welcome, dude. If I knew how to set up the link to get you in here, I would. But I think this actually like doesn't even give me a link. It's really weird. Okay. Um, well, hey man, thanks for tuning in. You're the only person right now, so mostly it'll just be us talking until other people join in. But I uh, I was going to go over some general stuff, I guess, for people that I feel like I kind of wanted to catch up on some things. So, I was going to have people do Q&A and stuff, but spread the word, hero. I guess I had a day off work today, and I took some time off, so I'm going to try and get some stuff done. I was hoping maybe there could be maybe like a call or something with the fan group at some point. But yeah, I was going to go over some entertainment news stuff I heard. Basically, I saw this on the news recently that I guess Marvel Comics might be closing. Um, I mean, like there was this rumor that Disney might actually close down the comic book line themselves, like the entire company, which I guess apparently they're losing money, which surprised me. Well, actually, it doesn't really surprise me. I guess that the comic book industry has been struggling for a while, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I always thought that that would be kind of an odd decision because that is the source of where a lot of the stories come from, and I guess they figure that Disney could probably get a lot of money just off of all the subsidiary stuff. But I don't know. I think that it's probably not going to be closed. I think that's probably just people like people are all up in arms about, it. And I really hope they don't because there's a part of me that's really nostalgic about just going out there and following along the monthly comics. But that also means, like a lot of other niche things, like as we know, the anime industry, you gotta support the content, you gotta support the industry, or else these sort of things happen. And I don't think it's going to, but the fact that it's even a discussion is kind of a little concerning, I guess. But I don't think they're going to get rid of Marvel Comics entirely. That's just my opinion. I also wanted to talk kind of in relation to that about the Captain Marvel controversy, which apparently isn't really, even really a thing. I don't know if you've heard Hero, but there's been like a lot of I guess hatred towards this movie because it's like I don't know, it's uber feminist or something, and I guess some people, men are feeling threatened by that. Apparently, that's like a very vocal minority because I tried to find like actual reasons for like why people might not want to see this movie, and I think it's just a bunch of trolls. But that's kind of been like what we've been talking about lately. Just people. It seems like all different kinds of franchises are just trolling lately, and there's a lot of politics between all the fandoms and stuff. Just a lot of tension, and I've been really kind of sick of that myself. Like you can't just watch something and kind of enjoy it. So yeah, that was that. And I did put a little article about this too. Oh, wait, let's see. I feel there's always controversy just about anything. Exactly, man. That I know we mentioned that a couple times. But yeah, I'm kind of sick of all that. And kind of going into that controversy. I mean, I did put an article about it on my blog, which I'll probably put in the link below because I don't want to talk about it too much on here. But if anybody was curious about my thoughts about the Vic Mignogna stuff, like his sexual harassment stuff going on, a lot of fans are kind of heated about that and with each other. And Funimation apparently is not in a very good place right now. I think it'll probably blow over eventually, but I mean, I'm hoping that it's not true. But regardless of whether or not it is, hopefully it'll go through the process of us learning more and they'll move past it. But it was kind of an unfortunate thing to see. Of course, it's like all that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, has been an issue maybe in the anime industry, manga industry, and just dubbing and stuff. So there's some of that. Let's see. I had just some thoughts about some upcoming stuff related to Star Trek because, as people might know, I am a pretty big Star Trek fan, and I'll get into this a little bit later about the some things I've been watching. But there apparently, I don't really have a whole lot of love necessarily for Discovery, so I'm not really that interested in tuning into CBS All Access to buy that for another streaming service. But they have the Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele hosting, which looks pretty cool. That I was interested in. That's on CBS All Access, as well as some more Star Trek content. I mean, Captain Picard's going to be doing a mini series. Patrick Stewart's going to do that. That's cool. There's going to be an animated series that apparently is like more adult humored, kind of like Rick and Morty. I believe it's written by one of the writers. So I'm like, that might be really interesting to see. So I'm kind of curious about those. And I'm like, if I hear good things about those, I'm like, maybe I'll put up the money for CBS All Access. I mean, I don't know if I'll go that far, but I mean, it's possible. And I also heard that Nickelodeon's going to be doing a more kids show oriented series for Star Trek as well. And Star Trek hasn't really had a cartoon, especially one aimed more at kids, since I think like the 70s. And the old, I forget who did it. I don't know if it was Hanna-Barbera or somebody, but the old Star Trek show actually isn't too bad. And at the time, it was actually able to do things that they couldn't do in the 60s show. So some of that stuff's become canon. I found that kind of enjoyable. Let's see. Now, Hero, and for anybody else watching, I don't know if anybody else is. Oh, somebody else is watching. I'm not sure who. Hello. Welcome, whoever you are. Spread the word. Like and all that good stuff. Got my water here. Random live podcast stream, whatever. I guess this is technically a podcast because I'm going over news items and stuff, but please feel free to interact, anybody. As far as things I've been watching, the most recent movie I saw was How to Train Your Dragon 3, which I didn't think was too bad. I mean, I thought of course the animation was good, though I don't know if I'd say it was like as much of a massive improvement as the original one. And it's funny, I saw it with my girlfriend and she was all like, you didn't like it that much? And I kept saying, no, I did like it, but I guess I didn't like it as much as she was, and I wasn't like blown away by it. No Star Trek related, but Netflix is confirmed doing Nickelodeon movies for Lord House and Rise TMNT. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Actually, I'm going to be getting to some Ninja Turtle stuff here in the future, Hero, that but that is cool. Let's see. All right. That is kind of cool, actually. Yeah, well, of course, Nickelodeon seems to be the place to go to with Ninja Turtles. And that actually, it's kind of interesting you bring that up, because that was one of the reasons why I was kind of like excited about the kids Star Trek show, because I believe it's going to be done by the same company that did Ninja Turtles. I'm just wondering if they add that kind of fun spunkiness that might bring in more of an audience for younger viewers. So that's actually kind of why I was interested in it, because I did like, I didn't see the most recent Turtles cartoon. I know you watched it. I know that had some controversy, of course, when it came out. But let's see, How to Train Your Dragon 3. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, I liked it, basically short and sweet of it. I liked the way it resolved. I think they kind of added in this little happy thing at the end, because they didn't want to make it bittersweet. But it kind of goes the logical way the story would go. I liked the villain. I thought he was one of the more interesting ones. And they did kind of, further Hiccup's character and his feelings about his dad previously and his personal growth. But I still felt like it wasn't quite at the level of the first movie. Though I do think it might have been slightly better than the second, which I think was mostly ruined due to the bad marketing about the plot twist, which, spoilers, his mother comes back to life. So if you didn't know, you know now. I don't know if you saw the How to Train Your Dragon series, Hero, but I've liked the most for the most part, but Oh, let's see. Hero, you probably know about this. I am almost done with She-Ra, been slowly watching that on Netflix, and once again, I feel like the controversy is kind of like the whole first part of this, but like there were a lot of people hating about the design and it being different as well. And as you know, I mean, I'm a pretty big He-Man fan, but I didn't watch a whole lot of She-Ra growing up, though I knew what it was. And so I didn't really have that much attachment to it. I had no real nostalgia, no real expectations. And I was like, I heard some people really didn't like it. So I was like, well, I'm going to just check it out to see what the big deal is about. And I watched it and I thought, well, this is basically just a fun kid show. Kind of reminded me of like sort of elements of Avatar or Steven Universe, stuff wholesome, fine, good messages, decent animation, was fun, colorful. I liked it. I liked what they did with the character. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the original, but I'd imagine that the core elements are there. But I thought it flowed very well at the very least. Really good pacing. So that were my thoughts on that. I also was watching a little bit of Star Wars Rebels. I was kind of going through that a little bit. And I had a little bit of resistance to it, so to speak, because the Clone Wars, I wasn't able to really get into as much, even though I heard that after the initial seasons that does get better. but I never really got too into Clone Wars. So I figured I'd start fresh and start with Star Wars Rebels, which follows mostly characters I don't know, so it could be an original story. And I think I got into the second season of that one, and I actually really enjoyed that. So I enjoyed Star Wars Rebels, and I had some downtime, so I was able to catch up mostly with My Hero Academia. I finished the first season a little while ago, and I just finished the second season. And, I didn't, the interesting thing about My Hero Academia is it had a lot of high praise from people. And I could kind of see why, but I remember that I didn't get initially swept up in it because I didn't think it was amazing right away. I mean, I'll be completely honest. Like, I didn't think those first couple episodes, I'm like, I guess it was because One Punch Man had come out recently. I thought it was very similar, but it was taking itself more seriously. So I'm like, okay, this is a superhero themed shonen. It's doing a lot of the same stuff. I'm like, oh, same formula, different skin, but I understand why people like it. And as I kept watching it, I feel like the show has gotten better. Like, as I got to the end of the first season, I thought it got better. I was more intrigued. And the second season really picked up a lot more and got even more interesting. And by the end, I was like, oh man, I've got to see season 3. I thought the finale of season 2 was awesome. And I guess as sort of a review up to this point, I'm going to take a break because Hero's responding to me. Let's see. Hope to see more Hordak. Yeah. Oh, okay. That answers my question because I didn't see the last episode of She-Ra for the season, and that was actually one of the minor things I was wondering about. Is I know Shadow Weaver was like kind of more of a main villain in She-Ra, and Hordak, I liked him in this one, but there wasn't that much of him. And you're right, he did have a very Sith kind of, not just an appearance too, but his own mannerism, like kind of the Emperor behind the scenes plotting. Like, what can he really do? How much of a threat is he really? So I thought he was interesting, and I liked how they handled him, but I would be very curious to see what part he has to play in the show going forward, because I'm guessing there's going to be more seasons. But yeah, My Hero Academia, thus far, say it was pretty good. I really like it. I think the best thing about the show, just in terms of the presentation of the colorful characters, like I think that would summarize it the best for me, is that okay, two things. It does follow the same shonen tropes we see all the time, but it does delve a little bit deeper into the characterizations and I like the whole dichotomy they have of having, Midoriya starting off as being somebody who, doesn't have those powers. He isn't automatically said to be the chosen one or have some massive power up. He has to work for it. And I find the whole power with All Might transfer to be rather interesting. And I like that mentor figure, and so I think that them delving into that strategy kind of performs a different story that we haven't seen so much before. But I also like the fact he is growing more confident and getting better and having to think about how to use his power and be more strategic. I always like that in those shows. But the other thing is honestly the characters. Like, in a show that has that many characters, normally I like it. That you usually have your 4 main characters or so. This one, they have a couple main characters, but everybody does get enough of a fleshed out personality and ability that they stand out. So I like a lot of the side characters, which is one thing I thought that really surprised me that I really liked was that honestly. I really liked that, and I think the frog girl is probably my favorite, and I like the bird guy with the shadow ability. And oddly enough, they had an episode together towards the end of their final exam thing. So I really liked that. I think that introducing more villains is interesting. I like the legion of villains so far. I think they're getting more interesting as it goes along. I thought Stain, I felt like he had the potential to be more interesting. Like, I liked what he was, but they didn't go deep enough into it. But I think it's going to be more of an after effect probably in the next season of what his actions did that we're going to see. But he had a very like 90s like super violent thing going on, like, the Avenger, I must kill all the heroes so that I can prove what being a hero really means. Much like a lot of things, we've seen it before, but I thought he was entertaining. Okay, well, that's the end of the first section there, and and somebody else is here with you, Hero. DSR Anime. My Hero Academia is really good, but it's getting a little bit overrated. It's generic, unoriginal, cliche, but does everything really well. 8 out of 10. It's funny, that comment, I'll be honest, it's funny. I don't know. The generic, unoriginal, and cliche does not sound like anything positive, and then but you're like, oh, it does everything really well. 8 out of 10. It's like I think you're being a little generous. You could afford to go a little lower if you wanted to, but I think that's kind of how I agree. I think that there are some things they're doing that are a little different, and I mean the superhero angle obviously makes things a little more interesting. But I agree. It seems like it's just a show that's along the same lines, but it's doing it very well for the most part. It's kind of how I felt about it in the beginning, and I'll probably keep watching it because I'm more intrigued now that I'm not really watching too many other animes. So I'm like, I'll get to it when I can. But transitioning, everybody, feel free to spread. Oh, and answering Hero's question. The lack of more battle shown is what is leading to My Hero Academia. Yeah, there isn't that much competition right now, I'm guessing. So your theory, it sounds like if they if there was more around to compete, then maybe My Hero Academia wouldn't actually be that popular. That's an interesting theory. 7.5 rate sounds right for this series. Okay, so maybe 7.5, a little bit lower. But yeah, welcome DSR Anime. I don't know if I've ever seen you in a stream or anything before, but welcome. Feel free to like and share this video, let people know. Gonna keep answering questions as I let you guys know what I've been up to. So feel free to interrupt. But let's see, moving on to the next section, everybody. What I've been reading. Oh, so much different. As far as stuff related to this channel, there's only two things I've really been reading, and I messed up with the watching thing. There's something else later, but that's fine. It can be a separate thing. But there is a manga that I was told to read by Zoro Fanboy, actually, quite a while ago. It was Vinland Saga, actually. And I started reading that, and I got, I forget how many chapters I got in. Not super far, but I think I got past like the whole flashback section with the main character finding out what happened to his dad. And I've been liking it, honestly. I think Vinland Saga is pretty good. It's, I guess, kind of a shonen that merges into a seinen, and it reminded me of like a lot like Berserk, a lot of those medieval battle manga. I kind of like those. Has a very Western feel, and apparently it's getting an anime adaptation this year. So I have a feeling that nobody cares about it right now, but depending on how well it does, it could be something that everyone really loves and talks about for the next year or two, or maybe not. But yeah, I've been liking that quite a bit. The main reason is because I've been watching Vikings a lot the past couple of years, and I was reading this and like, this is just Vikings but manga. Like literally, they cover some of the same events, deal with some of the same people. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I've been liking that. I also been reading some of the IGN Ninja Turtles comics. I thought they've been really good. It's just kind of like, once again, a reboot sort of thing. Yeah, check out Vinland Saga. But yeah, just kind of, I think it was from 2011, this Ninja Turtles series. And it kind of reminded me of some things they did in the Michael Bay movies, but I just think it was better. Vikings is great. It is. It's really good. I need to catch up on the newest season. But yeah, I like the new Ninja Turtles comic. I don't know if you read that one, Hero, but that one is pretty good. They in this version, I believe that Splinter and the Turtles were originally a father and a group of sons that are reincarnated, and so Shredder Orokusaki follows them, and it's a battle throughout time. And I like their version of Krang and Stockman and how they integrate April and Casey Jones. It seems very believable for as wacky as it can be. It also flows very well. So I like those comics. I recommend those if you guys like Ninja Turtles and haven't read them yet. Oh yeah, and I put this in a reading, but I did watch the first season of Star Trek Discovery, and I might have a podcast with someone else talking about that in more detail. But short and sweet version. There are some minor things I don't like. I want to say it's a nitpicking thing, but I have a hard time with how they deal with the Klingons. I don't really love their portrayal. I don't really like how they look. How they act kind of bugs me a little bit. But beyond that, I thought it was okay. The fact that it takes place before the Federation's fully established as we know it, I'm like, I can be a little flexible with it. But it's okay. I hope it gets a little better. I don't love it, but I don't really hate it. But I've been watching a little bit of the Orville here and there, though I need to catch up on that. And that seems more like Star Trek that people typically know, like Next Generation. And honestly, I think I like that one a little better, but I wonder if that's just because it's familiar rather than because it's necessarily better. But either way, there's Star Trek out there, and there's going to be more for people if they like it. And I guess after this next section here, which I'm probably going to go into a little more detail about because this is where I'm going to rant and things are going to get really interesting. So I'll start with the positive, and then I'll get into a little more of the negative, kind of. And then after that, if you guys want to have questions or whatever, maybe I'll even start a stream and have Hero come in. I don't know if there's a way to invite people over on here, Hero, with this new way of doing it, but I never tried this before. I think it looks pretty good from my setup, but if I make an event, it'd be different. Anyway, yeah. Basically, this one's kind of an announcement, future of the channel sort of thing. Okay. Well, firstly, side things I've been doing. I've been pretty busy with work. Took some time off because honestly, I've been tired, stressed, but I'm trying to kind of, chill out. So that's kind of been one reason why I guess content on here has been inconsistent or whatever. I don't know if it's really been that inconsistent, but it feels like it's been. But anyway, side things. I'll be putting some new videos up here over the next couple weeks and months to promote my little channel, which I think has maybe like 3 subscribers or something, which is Drinkable Alchemy. It is basically with my friend Gimli. He's been on the channel before, and we just review different beers and stuff. And that's another channel we typically do it on. I'm trying to promote that, make it a little bigger, just kind of as a fun side project thing. And what we do here is it's a spinoff of reviewing fantasy drinks, primarily Game of Thrones, which we were doing we did once a year for a couple of years there, and then we're going to do a couple more and hopefully, get more people interested in that one. So that's that. Also, I'm popping over up on Dan Reviews It sometimes to review movies and talk about shows. I think he wants to talk about Frasier. So that's for alcohol stuff and for TV related content over there. As far as the future of this channel goes, I'm probably going to just do whatever it is that I feel like doing. I really want to, the thing I've really been wanting to do, and it's been holding me back, is I really just want to do really in-depth reviews about movies I like and try to make them as professional and interesting as I can, and have a lot of fun, silly little videos whenever I feel like it. I think having a consistent schedule and trying to turn this channel into a career or whatever, it's something that I can't do right now. And quite frankly, I don't want to, because I think over the last couple of years, it's sucked a lot of the joy out of it. And I think that, the consistency of this channel and the inconsistency of quality and type of video and subject matter has left, my subscribers all over the place in terms of their interest, and also with the algorithm and, YouTube, trying to support smaller creators, but obviously caring more about the big ones. It's just the way of the world. That's fine. So I admit I was kind of a bit bitter and frustrated and angry about my YouTube channel for quite a while. It's actually been one of the primary sources of my stress, and just being like, I wanted to turn this into a great thing, and I'd often self-sabotage myself and couldn't really balance trying to keep consistent videos and also balance it with all the other things I got going on. And in addition to that, just being so concerned with making it bigger and getting feedback from my subscribers. Like if I stopped doing the character analysis for anime, it seemed like people just stopped caring about my channel and stopped caring about my content, which maybe I took a little personally, but people aren't really unsubscribing to me that much, or people are still subscribing, so maybe not. I know some people have been here for years and years, which thank you for those people like Hero that have been here since the beginning. And quite a few people have been sticking with me. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. If you tune in once in a while, I think it's great. But my point is, I think I need to try and turn this into more of a hobby, like I'm doing today, just as a way to kind of be an outlet to talk about things I like, because that's originally what it started as. And I think that going back to the source, like my buddy Dad told me, is really the way it's got to be. And and other people like on the fandom group, I met some good friends here like Vaughn and on the Stampede. Check out his channel, and of course Hero, and so are everybody else. We all got stuff going on, and it's hard to keep things the same way they were. So I think I was kind of a little stressed and sad about that for a while, but I don't want to be anymore. Quite frankly, it just means that this channel could be like today. I just decided to do like a random live stream, and that's pretty much what it's going to be. And I hope to make other videos because, quite frankly, what kind of made me like finally give up with that is because I was trying to put up these polls, which were fun, and maybe I'll put up a couple of this last one just because I said I would. But two things kind of happened that kind of made me realize, I gotta like really finally reevaluate this. Is because a couple things happened. Oh, forgive me. But well, I said first of all, I said I was going to do this Batman character analysis video, which probably could have been better, whatever. But I put time and effort into that video, and I tried to make it as well scripted and thought out as I could. Poured some of my heart into it. People said they wanted to watch it, and I think it got like 60 views out of my like 3,000 subscribers. So I was like, okay, so you try to do something people want, and it didn't really get that many views. Then I was like spending some time. I just got the script done for the Mustang video, and also I was editing another video at the same time for Drinkable Alchemy, another video, and I was done with it. I was done with that video. I was done with my script for Mustang. I'm like, okay, well, I can do this, whatever, and I'll just have to rewrite the thing because we had a storm, and and I lost everything. So, and I didn't save, which I should have. So a power outage, and I lost it all. So that kind of frustrated me a little bit, I guess you could say. So losing those two things after I had spent like, a while putting it together pissed me off. Right after that. And then this is the big thing, okay? Now, this is the big thing, which kind of made me realize, well, it doesn't matter. Like, I will say, if you guys want to give me some encouragement and you guys want to get your requests in, I've set up a Patreon. You can donate to that. That'll help, build it up because I no longer make money from YouTube anymore because, at least as far as I know. I mean, I might be because I'm still a partner, and I don't know if it really matters because it's just a few cents anyway. But I've got to get to some of these comments, but these are fun comments. But what do you like? I'll tell you what I like. What do you mean? Could you elaborate on that? And how does it feel to have your dream crushed too much time? Gonna have to talk to you later. No problem. But this is the thing. I don't make money on YouTube anymore because well, Fullscreen, my third-party multi-channel network that I've been with for years, dropped me without any warning. Like, it would have been nice to get like an email, like a courtesy email of like, oh, like, okay, you're not getting enough revenue, you're not doing that well, maybe we can, talk to you, maybe we can, give you some hints, you have like this timeline to try and do this thing. I don't know. But basically, I just got dropped from that. And I was like, I saw that I wasn't getting any revenue for a while because I check it once in a while. And yeah, I hadn't been getting it for weeks. And I emailed Fullscreen about it. I was like, hey, like, I see that I'm not getting I haven't gotten any like data since like mid-January. And I see I'm still monetized through YouTube. I'm like, oh yeah, we go through them once in a while and let them go. Like, thanks, with like an exclamation point. It's probably for the best because I think that trying to worry about making money off YouTube is kind of one of the reasons why I had so much stress about it for a while anyway. And like, oh, I can make my dreams a fucking career and, and then I'm not, so I'm a failure. And, it really messed me up for a while. I'm kind of over it now, actually, I'm kind of over it, but well, not entirely. I'm still mad about that because like, I'm going to tell you about Fullscreen because I'm not associated with them anymore. Okay. Not to be unprofessional, because the truth is, I probably, because I haven't put as much time and consistency into my channel, I wasn't making enough money for them. It makes sense why they would drop me. Like, I understand that. I just wish that I'd had a little bit of a warning or a chance to do better from them. And I guess they gave you a lot of resources, but there wasn't really a whole lot there that was really that great. I mean, the biggest thing about Fullscreen was that, you had a lot of, I could get a lot of free music, basically, that I could use, which I could make myself with my equipment with my my software now, or I could, use the YouTube stuff, which I didn't know about, which is silly me. So that really was kind of pointless. And then also the ability to collaborate, but I never had much luck with that. Also, there was this one thing where they would try to like promote other people by like, hey, if you like this person, you'll automatically sub to them, which was like the stupid thing. Everybody was just like liking each other in this one listing so that they could, give everybody subs and give each other points so that they could all look like they're bigger. And I did that too. And I'm like, I don't know how many subscribers I actually have. I don't know. I hope that a lot of them probably left by now, I would hope, but it's like, I don't even know. So, that was kind of frustrating. That in particular was kind of frustrating. Yeah. But the good news is, everybody, that I'm okay with it. I think I might still have money coming in through YouTube somehow because I am still a partner and I'm still monetized, but I don't know. It's the point is I was making so little money from it, like pennies and pennies, that it doesn't really matter. To some degree, excuse me, it was kind of my issue. But yeah, that was kind of my big thing that I wanted to put out there, was that I'm not really concerned with that anymore. So as far as what the direction of the channel means at this point is, regardless of whether or not I make money with it, I mean, it'd be cool if I did, but YouTube is my hobby. And I met some great people on here. And I've been going back and forth for like the past year or two about whether or not I should just end the channel. Because like sometimes I should just put it down for a while. And I've had couple little mini breaks, but I'm always like, I got the channel. I like to do something with it, use it as an outlet. But, DSR Anime says, I think if you do more videos in a consistent way, even people that don't care about the topic of the videos, it will probably help the channel. Yeah, you're right. Just be a presence. Put stuff up there consistently on somewhat of a schedule, maybe. Or keep things consistent. Consistency really is the word. I mean, and I'm like, I might have to do it like once a week or once every 2 weeks or 2 months or 1 month and try to make them as good as I can. That's what I really want to do. I want to keep improving and keep making good videos and keep getting feedback from you guys. And I might do, if what I want to do is kind of narrow it down. Like I liked doing the discussion topics, but I have to make sure that there's stuff that I really, really want to talk about, or do a type of different video that I really want to do that I've never done before, and maybe get feedback from you guys to see if you like watching. But to be honest, if you like what you see, you'll keep watching and more people will subscribe. So it's like, I like the feedback. I love the comments. I like the likes and the shares. I do like that. It does make me feel good to say that, hey, people appreciate my creativity and my personality and what I have to offer. And I think that's why YouTube is a great platform. See, this is getting more positive. We're coming back around. But yeah, like, so that's kind of where I am right now. I'm kind of trying to figure out like what I'm going to do with the channel. But I told you, I'm doing some side things with other people. I've still got the primary thing I'm doing is to keep things simple is I'm doing podcasts with people. I have some of my friends over. I'm going to upload another one here probably within the next couple of days or something, talking about, recent stuff, with my buddy OWC Cyborg. He's been on a couple. Dan comes over sometimes, some other people, Gimli and Troll and everybody show up sometimes. But, I'm hoping on working on maybe another movie project, try to get another film done maybe sometime this year. Yeah, and beyond that, I don't know. I kind of want to maybe do some short films, maybe do some fun little videos. Like I said, I have a big love of movies, to get back to your question. I love film, and I think that's really the big thing. The big fear for this channel has been, quite simply, this channel has been pretty active. I'd say it probably started literally right around the beginning of 2012. So I've had this channel running with content, primarily around anime and comic book stuff for a good 7 years or so. And I've been on YouTube with other videos before that. Like Hero and I have been on for years, and we know each other. He knows where I started. So I've been, I have been out there online and on YouTube doing stuff and just putting stuff out there for years, and I somewhere along the line I started taking it too seriously and getting so worried about it, like acting like it's all I had or something. But things have changed, last couple of years, and doing movie reviews and discussions. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Keep doing it, and but I want to make sure that you guys like it, but I also want to make sure that I like it, and it's kind of like getting that balance again is sort of where we're going. But once again, any ideas you guys have, feel free to let me know. That I always appreciate that. And I'm hoping to do like a podcast or live stream with some people on the fandom group sometime this week, maybe. That would be cool. Hey, Hoomba King Gaming. Oh man, I haven't talked to you in a while, man. What's up, dude? Yeah, I was just venting about how the future of my channel and whatnot. But yeah, basically what I was trying to get at was okay, I still like anime. Okay, I still have a lot of love for a lot of those shows, and there's a lot of shows that I care about a lot, and have had a good influence on me. And some of my favorite series, I never even really got the chance to talk about it properly, review it. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I kind of have high standards for myself, which is why I procrastinate, self-sabotage, and don't. I want to, if I love these movies or these shows or whatever I'm talking about, I want to make them the best possible videos I can. And then I see other people like, I don't know, Super Eye Patch Wolf or Totally Not Mark, or, some of my favorites, Oliver Harper, Good Bad Flicks. Just I see all these different YouTubers that are doing these analysis videos, discussions, reviews, video essays that are what I was doing years ago, but they've just put so much heart into it, so much effort, so much editing. They have great sound, audio quality, and video quality. It's like I know that there's a higher standard now, and I should, and I know that it's like my little crappy slideshows don't cut it anymore, and it's true. Like they don't, and like the only reason people are still subscribed is because they like what I've had to say, and they like my content, so that's cool. And I got questions coming in, but yeah, so I think that there might be a shift more towards movies and stuff. People tell me, I know there's so many people out there reviewing like new stuff, so I might do that, but I really want to just do like really good movie reviews and discussions that are personal about like why I like them, why I think they're so good, and put them out there, and they just be my favorites. It's kind of one thing I want to do. Also talk about shows I liked growing up, stuff like that, and just general discussions about franchises. I think I want to delve into all kinds of stuff, and but mostly the focus will be on movies, I guess, at this point. And hopefully you guys will like it. But Zed, why don't you try to work with Anime News Network? You can write reviews for them. They have plenty of discussions which you like. I guess I could try. I remember, it's funny you mentioned that, because a couple of years ago, I think like back in 2015, I had considered like trying to like write for them, like maybe like I think I was trying to get like a position or internship or something. But I think a lot of people want to work with them. Though you're right, if I could publish, that's another thing too. If I could publish on Anime News Network, that'd be cool. Because one thing I found, if you guys may not know, I'll put a link below. But another thing too, and Hero probably knows this because I think he follows sometimes. But on my Facebook group, I sometimes post that I have my site, Merlin the Mighty, which I have my blog, and I have the blogger on Blogspot or whatever it is. So what I've been doing, because I like to write a lot, I've actually been doing more articles and written reviews and stuff on my site and on my blog, because quite frankly, that's more relaxing for me, and it's also less time consuming, because if I have some downtime, I can write something and then go over it, correct it, and then add some pictures and stuff and upload it, and like it's there. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on things, you can always check out my blog too, because I'm pretty active there. But maybe Anime News Network is a good idea too. But yeah, so that's another thing. So I've been writing a lot. So that's kind of why I'm like, if I feel like if I write the article, that's kind of why I didn't talk about the Vic Maniana thing, because like I said, I'll put the link in below. But if you want to read my thoughts about it, I thought I said everything I had to say on there, and I thought I put it together fairly well. And that's pretty much all I want to talk to about it. I talk about it. I don't really want to put a video up here, even though I don't think more people might know. But yeah, so yeah. So yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to chime in, because I think I pretty much said everything that I want to say about stuff at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, I got that off my chest. So yeah, I don't work at full screen anymore. I got fired from full screen, I guess. Is that let go from my contract or something? Yeah. But yeah, and like I said, I don't really care. I just wish that they would have like let me know beforehand and not just like imagine if like imagine like you were working at a job or something, and then like somebody just said, "Hey, you shouldn't have come in today. You were fired." Like, what? I didn't even know that was coming. I wasn't even told yesterday. Like you should. It's kind of along those lines. Like it's just I thought it was just kind of unprofessional and rude and not helpful. That final message, like that was the thing that bugged me about it. So, yeah, videos on old movies would be nice. Nowadays, YouTubers just talk about recent movies. Exactly, and that's the thing. People talk about recent movies because what do people want to hear about? They want to talk about what's popular, and everybody. And that's the thing too, guys, is that I realized that to really make it on here, like you would have to put all your time into like keeping up with everything and all the news and every tweet and every article and every recent review. You'd have to like bam bam just get it out constantly, even if you wanted to do it full time. And I think it would suck the life out of me, because I was on a Film Fanatics podcast and I watched like almost every new movie that came out for a couple of years, and I liked it a lot. But even after doing that for a couple of years, I started to get kind of burned out. So if I had to like survive on that, I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I think that there are people out there that do reviews about older movies, and I know that some of them, you guys have probably heard about it before. You probably know generally why people like it, but there might be some on there that I want to talk about and try to bring my perspective. And I've always loved talking about movies and about entertainment and stories in general. That's kind of what I think I should primarily do, because that's where the love is. And like I said, it doesn't mean that the anime content's going to go away completely, because quite frankly, there are a lot of anime movies that I want to talk about. Because I noticed on the anime community, it's like there's this weird. I mean, it's interesting how many subsets of different fandoms there are. Because after years of being on YouTube and associating with a lot of the people I did over the past couple of years of being on the Outliers, that anyway, people really got into the weekly shows, primarily the Shonen series, and then some people would check out these classic shows, but there was this weird like resistance to anime movies, like they were so different. I'm like, they're not. They're just anime movies. Like people, I guess people just like the long running series format, which is more popular now anyway. But there are a lot of great anime films out there. I enjoy whatever you discuss, even if I'm not too familiar with it. I also think you might need to update a new intro and theme for your channel. What do you mean? Like, oh, you mean like at the beginning of the video or something? Yeah, I think I need to rebrand a little. Like I've been so like tightly holding on to like Merlin the Mighty, which wasn't even my original name. Like people know me as Merlin, and they care about my anime reviews, and I'm looking at my views, and I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't. Like my subscribers, I'm so confused. Like you guys aren't unsubscribing, but you're not watching. And I think it's also the notification bell thing. But it's like it's just funny to me. I'm like, wait a minute. So like they, it's just like, oh, what? Well, should I keep doing Full Metal Alchemist reviews because like they care about that? I'm like, they get more views like that. Okay, like the biggest video, the best views I got that people seem to like were from that Bleach movie review, which the Bleach live action movie I didn't think was too terrible compared to some of the other ones, but that was the last one I did that was kind of popular. But I, I was that made me a little mad at the time. I'm like, so the most popular video that I do is of course an anime movie review, which I liked doing that video. But then it's like, you make a video about something else and the audience that you've established doesn't like it. It's frustrating because you want to, and then people are subscribed for different things. And so it's kind of like, I guess people just kind of wait and say, hey, like you do, like, I might watch what he puts up, or maybe I'm really interested in these videos he does, or, I'll just tune out the ones he doesn't. And that's fine. Like, that's cool. Like I said, people aren't unsubscribing. It's not like I did something horrible and everyone's like, yo, screw that guy, like, unsubscribe to him. And Nicholas Bodo, how you doing, man? Subscribe, share the word, man. I know Nicholas likes my videos. Oh, he's putting in a question. What superhero do I find more interesting, Batman or Superman? Well, if you, I think you watched the Batman character analysis video I put up. Which one do I find more interesting? Oh yeah, please feel free to put in hi. Please feel free to send in other questions, guys, because otherwise the less feedback I get in here, the sooner I'm gonna stop talking because I do like to hear the sound of my own voice. I did. Okay, thank you. But yeah, guys, please send in more questions. I'm mostly done with my rant, but thoughts about the channel, suggestions, conversations. Emo Kim, did I? I don't know if I ever say your name right. Tell me if I do. DSR, if you're still watching, Hero, and share the video, guys. I need more people in here. Though, to be honest, that's another thing too. And maybe that's just me being overly nostalgic because I am sentimental sometimes. I'm like, man, things were always simpler when. I got to stop doing that. But like when I had like 40 subscribers back in like 2012 or 2013, Hero was one of them. That was awesome. That was awesome because I'm like I could talk to every one of these people and like I knew what they want. It was cool. Like and now it's like I got thousands and I'm like I don't even know most of them. So it's interesting, but it's interesting how a smaller channel has its benefits. Maybe not monetarily, but I like that close knit community around anything is cool. But uh, I did get it right. Hemokim, yes, I got it. Excellent. But yeah, the Batman analysis video, I thought I kind of touched on that a little, but okay. As I've gotten older, I have actually begun to appreciate the other type of hero that I've noticed people are usually split between the, Batman, Superman, Goku, Vegeta. That you've got the Paragon, the great hero. He's legendary. He's the person we aspire to be. That's the best of us. And then you've got the guy that's darker and has a dark side. And he seems a little more realistic because he's not perfect at all, right? And that's what people gravitate to. And I think there's a reason they do because they're both parts of us as individuals and what we look for in ourselves and in other people. And it's like there's the stuff we aspire to be and the stuff we do, even though we aspire, even though we have a lot of darkness we have to overcome. So I find them both interesting. I think when I was younger and angstier and like everybody, I'm like, yeah, I like Batman. He's the coolest. I'm Batman. Like he's so edgy. He's so, he's like, yes, I have so much going on, so much darkness, and I'm cool because I've got like that complex backstory and the psyche, and he's kind of nuts. He dresses up like a bat and goes around a bat. He dresses up like a bat. He dresses up like a bat and goes around and beats people up. It's an issue, but it gives us that catharsis to wish that we had the money and the power, we could get vengeance, justice, and do what's right. And and Superman does the same thing, but he doesn't need something terrible to happen to him to kind of traumatize him and force him into that lifestyle. Superman was just raised well and is eternally good and does it because he has the ability and chooses to do so. And that, while I don't know if I would say that I usually find that type of character more interesting, I find the importance of the character interesting and why people like it. I think Totally Not Mark did videos about Goku and Vegeta and why they gravitate. And the importance, like a lot of people dismiss the characters that aren't dark because they say they're not as complex. People can, but I think there's more relevance to that than I think people often, acknowledge. But I think Superman is great. I have more. I've always loved Superman. I love the Christopher Reeves movies. I liked Man of Steel. I liked the Superman animated series. I like the character. I've read quite a few of the comics. I like Superman a lot. I mean, Superman. He's probably not my favorite, but he's always up there for sure. But who do I find more interesting? I've always found Batman a little more interesting because I think there's more going on internally, and I think he just has a more interesting setting with Gotham City and a much more interesting set of side characters and villains. Like Batman has, and maybe Spider-Man, the best rogues gallery in comics. Like he just does. Just there's so many interesting villains, just all over the spectrum there. I'm out of my water, guys. That's a good sign. But yeah, the answer is short, so you know how I made that longer. Batman. I think Batman is a little more interesting, but I do like Superman, and I appreciate him too. And Nicholas agrees. All right. Do you think it's because the older viewers are not so active on YouTube anymore? Oh, and I think I missed Himu Kim's. Oh, wow. You guys are sending questions. Crap. Okay, I'll catch up. Coming back to that. Okay, wow. All right, thank you. I asked for it and I got it. Okay. Going to the top here. From DSR. I don't comment much on videos, but I'm sub to you and Hero for a long time. Oh, nice. Anime Hero is the man. Looking forward to whatever you do, XD. Well, thank you. And I think that's probably what everybody thinks. Like, I'm looking forward to whatever you do. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. Because, what's the point of like, I mean, it's when I started, I was like, I'll just make videos for what the heck. But of course I did it because I wanted to reach out and connect and see what feedback I could get. And my worst video, which I'm still proud of, is the one, I think it was on my old channel where I just talked about, I was driving back from college because I was commuting. So I was driving back at night. It was like 45 minutes. And I was like talking about 2 Dragon Ball movies. And it was this really bad audio quality. And it's up there somewhere. The chair is moving because there's a ghost. But yeah, that's up there if you want to see that. But hold on a second. Yes. Nothing. Okay. I wasn't sure how long I was going to be able to do this. What's up, buddy? Brief interruption.
I'm really hungry.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to answer these last couple questions, and then I'm going to have to end the stream because people need to eat. So let's see. I will in a little bit. But yeah, I figured this was going to go till 7-ish, maybe 8 if it went longer. But I'll answer these last couple questions. All right. So yeah, but basically, thank you. I feel like that's how everybody feels. But yeah, so there's that. Okay, so I appreciate that, DSR. Z88. What about taking a break from older anime and reviewing the newer ones that are airing currently? That is a good question because, well, that probably would be more fun, and I think that's what more people do. But the truth is, I don't watch a whole lot of newer anime. I don't keep up with it as much, so I'm like, I might talk about it a little, but I would rather go back and watch the classic series I like and do full reviews of them, even if they didn't get as many views. But you're right. I think the key thing is to just do that. But if there's a newer show that I really like, I'll talk about it. But other than like My Hero, not really so much lately. So that's part of it, honestly. You make interesting discussions on regular films and other shows besides anime. I think your channel has to express more of a theme of that, also thumbnails. Yeah, I think that just talking more about those other things besides anime would shift the focus. People would know what to expect, and it would gravitate more. Because I think it's ironic if I keep putting up all this anime content when I don't always really want to, just to please those fans, then I'm not really talking about everything I want to talk about on here. And other people have interests that change too, and I think that acknowledges another question, much like myself. And this is what Z88 said. Do you think it's because the older viewers are not so active on YouTube anymore? I think that's part of it. I think that a lot of the subscribers that might have subscribed to me 5, 6, 7 years ago, some of them might not be on YouTube as much anymore. And that's the truth. And as you get older, it's like the reason why I'm not on here as much is because I don't have as much time. That's quite honest. And everybody around me is kind of like that. People, I'm not 16. I don't have like all day to just like, watch YouTube videos and stuff. Like a lot of my subscribers are probably younger and gravitate to people that can do that more. So, that's part of it. So a lot of my subs probably aren't even on YouTube as much anymore. So that's part of it. And their interests change too. So it's hard to say. Probably just have to rebrand, just like what you said, appeal to newer viewers and possibly them. I can imagine you are possibly, most of them are probably younger than me. Probably. Yeah, that's also it too. It's like you got to appeal to what the kids are into. And it's like, some of them might be into some of the stuff I talk about, but maybe not a lot of the other stuff. So that is true. And most of my subscribers though are in my age range. Like I think between like the 25 and 34. So most of them. So I mean they're about where they need to be, I guess. But there are some on the younger spectrum. I don't have too many kids that are like, I think below 17 or something, which makes sense. I agree. Have I seen the Muppet movie? The one from like 10 years ago or whatever with Amy Adams. Yeah, I saw that one. That's the one you're talking about. I think that one and the Muppet Heist movie I saw, that was pretty. Oh, the original Muppet movie from like the 70s? No, I have not actually. I have not. You think I should? I've heard it's actually really good. The Muppet movies are really good. Like I remember I didn't watch a whole lot of Muppet stuff as a kid. I liked Sesame Street, but I didn't realize Muppets were like had very mature humor. So yeah, I haven't actually seen that one, but my exposure to Muppets has been pretty good. I didn't see their show, which I got canceled, unfortunately. Thoughts on Vic Mignogna allegations? Yeah, I talked about that a little. Basically, I hope it's not true. I think it's unfortunate that that sort of stuff has kind of affected Funimation and the anime industry in general. So that sucks. I know Funimation's not really in a great spot right now because of that. But you know, I guess we'll kind of see, honestly. But yeah, I wrote about it on my article on my blog, so I'll put a link down below if you want to read it. But yeah, I don't really want to talk about that too much. I mentioned it a little bit before earlier in the stream, but basically it sucks. And the heist ones are The Great Muppet Caper and Muppets Most Wanted. I saw that one. All right, everybody. Well, I've got to get some food stuff. So thank you for this, joining me on this random podcast rant live stream thing. And I'm going to try and get videos up. Like I said, I mean, the channel, subject of the channel might shift a little more towards movies and shows that aren't necessarily anime or comic book based stuff. But that stuff will still be there sometimes. I just got to take a break from that. And, you know, the struggle continues to try and do, you know, steady content, but got to try to at least get videos up semi-consistently and make good stuff. But as usual, see you, Nicholas. You know, give any suggestions for future videos are fine. But thank you to all my subscribers for sticking with me. Thanks for watching, and and there'll be more stuff coming out soon. So I'll see you guys later. And final comment. DSR says maybe videos about favorite movies or directors. Yeah, movies is too. And I think talking about movies for my favorite directors is something I actually thought about as well. But more streams. Yeah, I probably should just do more streams because, you know, this is the most relaxing thing to do. But I will admit, it is it's the laziest thing, man. Like, it's the laziest thing because it's like, oh man, I gotta edit more and everything. But it's like, you know, I just started out talking to people, so it's like that's what I like doing the most. So anyway. Everyone, stay magical, and I'll get some videos out to you soon. Take it easy.